Chapter 13. I'm going to have a slumber party. I've never had one. How could I when I've shared a room with Libby all my life? I just can't wait until Saturday night. Mouse, Sandra, and Jane are coming. And Mom says we can all sleep in my room if my friends bring sleeping bags with them. I even have new pajamas to wear. They are red and white striped. Mouse has the same ones. She promised to wear them so we can be twins like Sandra and Jane. My slumber party is going to be the best slumber party that ever was. Since I've been planning everything so carefully, I got really sore at Libby this morning when she told Mom, "I'm going to invite Marianne Markman to sleep over Saturday night." "Oh no," I said. "You know I'm having a slumber party." "So?" Libby asked. "Who wants to get in your way?" "That's not fair," I said to Mom. "Can't I do something just once without her butting in?" "There's plenty of room, Sheila," Mom said. "If Libby wants Marianne to spend the night, there's no reason why she can't. It has nothing to do with you." "They'll try to boss us around," I cried, "just like always." "Ha!" Libby said. "Nobody's going to spoil your party," Mom told me. "I promise." "I don't see why she can't spend the night at Marianne's house instead," I said. "Because Marianne's parents are going out and her mother doesn't want us to stay alone," Libby said. "Otherwise I would, in a second." I just know they will ruin everything. On Saturday, Marianne ate supper with us, so she was already there when my friends rang the bell. But she and my sister were locked up in Libby's room, listening to music, and I hoped that's where they would stay for the rest of the night. After Mouse, Sandra and Jane said hello to Daddy and Mom, I took them up to my room. After Mouse, Sandra, and Jane said hello to Daddy and Mom, I took them up to my room and we spread out their sleeping bags. Sandra's and Jane's are the same. There is a picture of Snoopy on the front, zippers down the sides, and red flannel linings. Mouse brought a regular sleeping bag, the kind you use when you go camping. She said the last time she slept outside, she woke up with a frog inside her bag. But since she likes frogs, she didn't mind. I would much rather sleep in a sleeping bag indoors than out. We arranged the sleeping bags on the floor next to my bed, with Mouse between Sandra and Jane. Then we showed each other our pajamas and discussed the kind of toothpaste we use. Sandra and Jane didn't bring matching pajamas, so me and Mouse turned out to be twins by ourselves. Next, we got undressed and ready for bed, even though we didn't plan to go to sleep for hours and hours, and maybe not even all night. Sandra changed her clothes in my closet. I think she is getting fatter, but I wouldn't say that to her face. She is very sensitive and would start to cry. She should go on a diet. I can't understand how such a fat person can swim. Why doesn't she sink to the bottom of the pool? Someday I'll ask Marty about that. Sandra and Jane threw their clothes in a pile on the floor, but Mouse folded everything and packed it away in her overnight case. Then she took out a small notebook and said, "Let's make a slam book." "What's that?" Jane said. I was glad she asked because I didn't know either. I figured I would tell Mouse that the reason I didn't know about slam books is that I haven't made one in years because where I live, that is just for babies. Mouse told us, "Slam books are great fun. You'll see." She was busy writing something down in her notebook. We sat in a circle around her and waited. In a minute, she held up a piece of paper and said, "This is a sample list. All of us fill it in about each other. It's the only way to find out what your friends really think of you." I looked at the sample list. It said name, hair, face, body, brain, best thing, worst thing, and in general. "You see," Mouse explained, "we'd never be brave enough to just sit around and tell each other the truth about ourselves. That would be too embarrassing. But since everybody wants to know what other people really think of them, this is an easy way to find out." You can start with me if you want. I'll go stand in the hall and you fill in the list. Later, when we've all had our chance, we get to read about ourselves in private. Mouse walked to my bedroom door. Remember, she told us, you've got to be honest or it won't do any of us any good. She opened the door and stepped out into the hall. Well, I said, who wants to go first? You start, Sheila, Jane said. It's your party. Okay, give me the book. Before I had a chance to begin, my bedroom door opened and Mouse poked her head in. I forgot to tell you, when you're done filling it in, you fold the page over so nobody can see what you wrote. Okay, I said. I just thought you should know, Mouse told me, closing the door again. I filled in the list 1, 2, 3. I wrote, name, Mouse Ellis. Hair, needs washing. Face, only a mother could love it. Body, too many scabs. Brain, pretty good. Best thing, can do everything. Worst thing, knows it. In general, my best friend and lots of fun. I folded my part of the page over so the others couldn't see it and passed it to Sandra. When she was done, she passed it to Jane. And then we called Mouse back into the room and Sandra went out. While Sandra was in the hall, Mom came upstairs to tell us she and Daddy were going to town to pick up some pizza for our snack. We'll be back in less than an hour, Mom said. Libby and Marianne are home in case you need anything. Okay, we'll be fine, I said, anxious to get back to the slam book. When we were done writing about Sandra, it was my turn to leave the room. I knew I didn't have to worry about what my friends think of me because I'm careful to keep my bad points to myself. Sometimes I think I am really two people. I am the only one who knows Sheila Tubman. Everyone else knows only Sheila the Great. Jane was the last one to stand out in the hall, and when we were through writing about her, she came back into my room. Then Mouse tore out a page for each of us to read privately. She said we should sit by ourselves and face the wall in case we didn't want anyone to see our expression. We all laughed at that, but did it anyway. I sat on my bed with my back to the others. I unfolded my paper so I could see all 3 opinions of me at once. Name, Sheila Tubman, Sheila Tubman, Sheila Tubman. Hair, parted, crooked, should grow longer, much too long. Face, ugly but lovable, weird eyebrows, gruesome. Body, skin and bones, ugly feet, abnormal. Brain, thinks it knows it all. A mental, overused. Best thing, picks neat friends, gives parties. Many question marks. Worst thing, chicken, bossy, acts real tough. In general, an interesting person. Not that bad. There's hope. Who did they think they were? Why did I ever bother to invite them to my house? They didn't deserve it. I read about myself 6 times, but I didn't turn away from the wall. After a while, I noticed that the room was very quiet. I wondered what the others were thinking. That's when Sandra started to cry. I knew it was her, even though I was facing the wall. First she cried low, but when I turned around to look at her, she took her hands away from her mouth and started bawling so loud you could probably hear it a mile away. I hate you, she yelled. Every single one of you! You all think I'm a big fat slob! Even my own sister thinks I'm a fat slob. Well, you are, Jane said, and you should do something about it. Anyway, somebody said some pretty bad things about me too, like I can't keep secrets, and my brain is turned off most of the time. So, Mouse said, I don't think it was fair of you to make fun of my scabs. I didn't make fun of your scabs, Jane hollered. Somebody did. Well, it wasn't me, Jane yelled. I didn't say anything because I was the one who wrote that about Mouse's scabs, but I never thought it would bother her so much. And another thing, Mouse said, I don't think any of you have the right to tell me that my hair needs washing. What's so bad about that? Sandra asked. How do you think I feel that 2 of you wrote I'm a crybaby? You are a crybaby, Mouse told her. And I don't see what business it is of yours that my belly button sticks out. I didn't write that, Sandra said. I wrote about your ears. Well, that's just as dumb. I'm the one who wrote about your belly button, Jane said. And it does stick out, so there. Just shut up, Jane, Mouse hollered. Jane was standing near my dresser, and when Mouse said that, Jane picked up one of Bobby Egren's model airplanes and threw it across the room at her. Who's going to make me? She asked. You cut that out, I told her. They're not mine. So, Jane said, throwing a plane at me. I told you to cut that out, I shouted. And I want to know which one of you wrote that my body is abnormal. My body is as normal as any of yours. Even more normal because I don't have to hide in any closet when I get undressed. And who says I have ugly feet? Your feet are just as ugly. I wrote about your feet, Sandra said, because your big toes are funny looking. I think there's something wrong with them. How dare you say that about my feet? I yelled. You big fat crybaby. I'm going home, Sandra bawled. I don't have to stay here and listen to this. That's right, Jane told her. Go running home to Mama, just like always. She tossed a model boat at Sandra. I could tell plenty about you if I felt like it, Sandra said, throwing the model back at Jane. You just try it and I'll get you, Jane yelled as she flung another model. This time, Sandra picked it up and sent it flying across the room at Jane. And Mouse picked one up and did the same thing. I got so mad I yelled, You're ruining my party! And I threw one of Bobby's models at Jane. Pretty soon, we were all throwing the models at each other, and we were all screaming and half crying too, because of the terrible things we wrote about each other, even though some of them were true. That's when Libby opened the door and said, What is going on in here? I shouted, Get out and mind your own business! Jane threw a model at Libby, and Libby had to duck so it wouldn't hit her in the head. Instead, it hit Marianne, who was standing right behind Libby. She hollered, You little brats! You little baby brats! You're too young for a slumber party. I said, Get out of my room now! I'm going to tell Mother and Father about this, Sheila. Blah, 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 I said. Yeah, Mouse told them. Blah, blah, blah. Then Mouse looked at me, and we started to laugh. And when we did, Jane did too. After a minute, even Sandra joined us. We all laughed at Libby and Marianne as we shouted, Blah, 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 blah. Libby called us baby brats one more time before she slammed our door shut. Then I flopped down on my bed and looked around at my room. Bobby's models were all over the place. He's going to get me. Don't be silly, Mouse said. He said he would, and he means it. I know he means it. So what? Who cares about the old model maniac? Mouse asked. That's easy for you to say, I told her. You're not the one he's going to get. There's only one thing to do. What's that? Sandra asked. We have to fix up every single model. But how can we? Sandra said. One of them broke right in half. That one we can throw in the garbage, but the rest of them we have to repair. I went to the desk and opened the drawer. I took out 2 tubes of tester's glue and a box of model paints. I divided the models into 3 piles. It won't take long to fix them up, I said. An hour later, we were still sitting on the floor gluing and painting when my mother knocked on my door and called, Snack time! I whispered, Quick, hide the stuff, as I ran across my room to open the door for Mom. She was carrying a big tray of pizza. That smells delicious, Sandra said. It's nice and hot, Mom told us. She set it down on the desk. Then she wriggled her nose and looked around. Something smells funny in here, girls. It does? I asked. Yes, like glue or something. Oh, that's just my toothpaste, Mrs. Tubman, Mouse said. What kind of toothpaste smells like that? Mom asked. This new kind that prevents cavities, Mouse told her. I hope it tastes better than it smells, Mom said. Mother, is that you? Libby called. Yes, Mom said. We have plenty of pizza. Libby came rushing into my room with Marianne right behind her. Mother, Sheila and her friends were just awful while you were gone. They were yelling and screaming and throwing around all the models from the top of the dresser. Mom stood in my doorway and said, Sheila, what's this all about? I told you she'd ruin my party, I said. She just has to butt in on everything. Mom looked over at my dresser. Where are all of Bobby's models? Under the bed, Mrs. Tubman, Mouse said. We wanted to make sure nothing would happen to them, so we put them away for the night. They are impossible children, Mother, Libby said. Mom looked back at us. We all smiled at her. This is Sheila's party, Libby. I think you and Marianne should go to your room and let these girls take care of themselves. I know they wouldn't do anything destructive to another person's property. Oh, Mother, Libby said. You don't understand at all. Good night, Libby. Good night, Marianne, Mom told them. Thanks, Mom, I said. Have a good time, but don't stay up too late. When Mom went downstairs, we started on the pizza. Sandra ate 2 pieces and reached for a third, but we all shook our heads at her, and she took her hand away and said, The truth really hurts. We all agreed. After our snack, we went back to work on Bobby's models. We fixed them up pretty good. From far away, you'd never know there was anything wrong with them. Besides, didn't he say he was bringing home a bunch of new ones? So he'll probably never notice that these have been a battle. At least I hope he won't. We spread the models out to dry and put away the glue and paints. I'm getting tired, Sandra said. We can't go to bed yet, Mouse told her. We still have some unfinished business to take care of. What? Sandra said. I looked at Mouse because I knew what she was thinking. We have to get even with Libby and Marianne for telling on us. Goody, Jane said. They deserve the worst. But what's the worst? Sandra asked. We should put frogs in their beds, Mouse said. Where are we supposed to get frogs? Jane asked. Behind my house, Mouse said. There's a brook full of them. Forget it, I said. My mother's not going to let us go running around at this hour. Then we'll have to think up something else, Mouse said. But it's got to be really good, really great. I know, I said. We'll decorate the toilet seat with toothpaste, and the first one of them to sit down will get full of it. You know where. Hey, that's a neat idea, Sheila, Mouse said. How do you think that up? When your brain knows it all, it's easy, I told her. I could tell from Mouse's expression that she was the one who wrote that about me. But I didn't care, because she also wrote that I'm an interesting person, and I like that idea a lot. Even Sandra and Jane wrote that in general I'm okay. And that's what counts. So what if they think I'm bossy sometimes? It's only because I know more than they do. So what if I have weird eyebrows and funny toes? Not that I agree, because I don't see anything weird about my eyebrows. And my toes are just like everybody else's toes. But to be an interesting person? Well, not everyone can be that. That is something special. We all went into the hall bathroom and brushed our teeth and used the toilet. Then I personally covered the toilet seat with toothpaste. When I was finished, the others wanted to add a little to it. So by the time we were done, there wasn't a spot on it without toothpaste. We went back to my room and waited. When my bedroom door is open, you can hear the water running in the bathroom. Pretty soon we heard Libby and Marianne walking down the hall. They're going to the bathroom now, Jane said. Shh, I told her. I think they brushed their teeth first, and then it sounded like one of them was gurgling. It was hard to keep from laughing because we knew in another minute, Libby or Marianne would be sitting down on all that toothpaste. But then we heard the toilet flush without a sound from either one. I don't get it, Mouse whispered. They probably didn't go yet, I whispered back. Maybe they just flushed a tissue or something. We waited some more and the toilet flushed again, but still no sound from either one of them. Maybe they go standing up, Mo said. Why should they? I asked. Our toilets are clean. Maybe they used your mother's bathroom instead, Sandra said. No, Libby never uses my mother's bathroom. Well, I don't know, Mo said, peeking out into the hall. But they're on their way back to Libby's room. It doesn't make sense, I said. It doesn't make sense at all. Mo, Sandra, and Jane agreed. I got into bed and the others snuggled into their sleeping bags. We'll get them tomorrow, I said. They'll be sorry they told on us. We giggled for a long time before we fell asleep. The next morning, I got up early and looked down at my friends. They were sound asleep. I had to go to the bathroom, so I got out of bed and tiptoed down the hall. I forgot about the toothpaste until I sat down on the toilet. It was still sticky. It got all over my backside. I couldn't even get it off with paper, and it itched too. So I decided to take a shower. But when I turned on the water, it came out icy cold, and I screamed so loud, I woke everyone up. Daddy and Mom, Libby and Marianne, Sandra, Jane, and Mouse all came running down the hall. I covered myself up with a big towel and told them the water was very cold. Mom said, Sheila, why on earth were you going to take a shower this early in the morning? To get the toothpaste off me, I told her. As soon as I said that, Libby and Marianne started laughing. I stuck my tongue out at them. What toothpaste? Mom asked. Mo said, You see, Mrs. Tubman, Sheila had a lot of mosquito bites, and my mother always says toothpaste will stop them from itching. So I spread toothpaste all over me, I said, but now I want to wash it off. Is that your new toothpaste, Mouse? Mom asked. The one that smells like glue? It doesn't matter what kind of toothpaste you use, Mrs. Tubman, Mouse said. Any old kind will do. I never heard of putting toothpaste on mosquito bites, Mom said. Next time I get one, I'll have to try it. That night, after my friends went home, Daddy asked, Did you have a nice party, Sheila? Oh, yes, I told him. My slumber party was the best slumber party that ever was, just like I knew it would be. That's good, Daddy said, slapping the back of his neck. Whew, I've had some really bad mosquito bites. Sheila, would you run upstairs and get me the toothpaste? Don't bother, Daddy, I said, starting to laugh. It doesn't really help at all.